Welcome back, folks. Something slightly different today. There's a couple of you have asked me to take a look at pellets that are really cheap through an accurate rifle that is of a certain price range. So what I've done with help of the surplus store is I've got a collection of sub £10 for 500 pellets, and we're going to run a test on accuracy and see if there's any gold in there. We're probably going to get some random really inaccurate pellets here, but I'd like to know if I can get more bang for my buck with the pellets. Let's take a look. Here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to shoot a group of each of the pellets. I'm going to tell you how much they cost for 500, and we're going to place them in a leaderboard at the end. First up is my control, my everyday pellet, the QYS Streamlined. They are £19 per 500 and they weigh at 8.84 grain. We're out at 22.5 meters. As you know, it's the maximum I can get. And we're going to do this test. We're going to start with my control. So I know that this is more expensive. So this is a premium pellet. I have the QYS domed in 177. And these are about 20 quid, roughly, for 500 pellets. These were the first I put through this rifle. We're shooting the Air Arms S400F carbine, and I've not needed to go and test. Now, normally, we'd always say, the community would say, test pellets to make sure you get the most accurate through your rifle. So, this is the control. This is what you get for a premium product. Okay, quite locked out on the bag, the Vanguard bag, so it's not zeroed anything. So let's see what we're starting with. Aiming for the center. Okay, first group. So as I say, this is the accuracy I'd expect from a premium pellet. Okay, let's see what's next on the cheap pellets list. Next up is the SMK Black. They, I thought were 500 for 5.99, but in fact that gives you 250. So if we do the maths, that is £12 for 500 roughly, and they are 8.2 grain. I had to weigh them, it didn't say on the box. The most expensive of the inexpensive pellets I've got are these SMK Black BS45 domed. Now, made a little error here in that these are slightly over the £10 mark for 500. In fact, they're about £12. So I'd expect these to be pretty good. But check my shorts. These, when you look at the quality of them straight out of the pack, I've got some really dodgy skirts. They're grubby. I'd really expect something of this price point to be a lot better. So I'm not holding out much on an accuracy standpoint. But yeah, £12 for 500. Let's see how we do. So I'm not zeroing for each pellet, but that one went up. If there's a group forming, that's what we're gonna go for. I'm doing a group of 5 for each of these pellets. Let's see how we go. Aim in for the center dot. Okay, that was nice. Dead center. Bearing in mind I'm aiming at the centre dot every time, and I'm trying to be picky with these. Some really bad ones that have got practically flat skirts in. Look like they've been shot before. And there's your 5. Not really going to say much on that. Yeah. SMK Black Dome, BS45 domed. Not a good one for a cheap one. On to the next. Next up are the RWS Super Hollow Point. They are coming in at £9.75 for 500, £9.75, and they are weighing in at 6.9 grain. Again, the quality of these looks pretty nice. They are hollow point. I can't see any dodgy skirts, and they're pretty clean. Group widening out after the second shot. There is no wind today. Not a bad group so far. Not the best, definitely not the worst. Okay. All right. You know, that's still under a 10p piece at 25 meters here, or 22.5 meters to be precise. Let's take a look at the next one. Keeping it with the RWS Hobby Flat is next. These are £9 for 500, so we are getting cheaper, and they are 7 grain. A lot of you have said don't badmouth these, you love them. I say a lot of you, maybe 3 of you. Let's run a group. Remember, it's the group that we're looking at. These are the flat head RWS Hobby. Ooh, quite tight going into the breech there. Bad, but that's only number 1. Okay, creeping out a little bit. That hit the bottom of the catcher. 3. Shouldn't be that wild. It might have just been a flyer, that first one. Might be go easy on it and chuck another one through. That may have been the same hole. I didn't see where that one went. I'm going to do one more for that one because it may have just been a fly. Okay. Safety group. Safety on, check the group. Okay. Price point. I'm relatively happy with that group, considering in comparison with the QIS, it's not too much in it. Let's move on to the next ones. Next is the AccuMax Heavy. They are £7 for 400, so that works out at £8.75 for 500. They are at 10.65 grain, and the heaviest I have on this test. They look pretty hefty. Pretty clean looking pellet for the price, definitely. If these are accurate, I'd definitely say that the quality looks pretty good. Don't be fooled by the first shot. Same hole, by the look of it, unless it missed completely. That felt a bit tough going in. I feel like this one might go wild. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. For the price, they are winning so far. Right, what's next? Next up are the Marksman Point. They are £6.99 for 500 currently. They didn't have a grain on the box. I had to weigh them, and the average was 7.4 to 8 grain. I struggled to get 5 at the same though, so bear that in mind. Feeling these are going to suck, but as I've come to learn, don't judge a pellet by its price. But these are Marksman pointed pellets. I've had zero luck with pointed pellets in the past at all, so we shall see. They look clean but grubby, if that makes sense. They've got like oxidization on them already. The same for the center. Nope. Two. Actually, I say nope, that first one did go pretty center. I just couldn't see the hole. Opened up that group with that one. Again, the skirts are very clean. That was a perfect pellet when I put it in, so I don't know why it was a flyer going up there like that. There you go. There's your 5 marksmen. Those are going to come pistol pellets for videos I don't film. Next up on the cheapness scale was the Wasp Red number 1. They are £6 for 500. They are again 8.1 grain. Didn't say on the tin. I did weigh them and they did average out at that weight. I had to weigh these to get an understanding, and the grain on these is all over the place. So we might get 5 that are the same grain, we might not. Who knows? So let's see what the accuracy is like on these. I'm not aiming for all four corners, I am aiming for the center. Okay. Definitely not found a cheap pellet yet that I would trust through this consistently. Let's move on to the next one. The final pellet to test is the Velocipel at £6 for 500, and they are weighing at 7.26 grain. So the last pellet on the bench is another Webley. This is the Velocipel. They are flathead. So again, on inspection, very clean, very well made. Again, really good price for 500 pellets. So I do wonder if they're going to be any good, but if the other ones are anything to go by, I'll be impressed. Safety off, center. One. Don't know why I count when I do it. Wow. Last one. Safety on. Okay, I'm gonna go and take a look at it all, and we'll have a sit down chat. But the question being asked is if there is pellets that are budget, cheaper for you as a consumer. Definitely. And I'm really surprised by this today. So I've now found an additional 2 pellets where I could get 1,000 for less than I would get 500. Super glad I've done this. Let's go to a conclusion. I was a little dubious about doing this coming into it, so I thank you for the comments saying I should do one. Now in test, I want to show you, this was my QIS, okay? Out of focus. QIS, everyday pellet I use, it's smaller than a 5p piece and unable to focus, so there you go. But the cheapest pellets, I believe they're the cheapest, I might have to check myself on that. The Webley pellets are bringing the same, if not smaller group, at the same distance. The only difference is they're £15 cheaper a pack. Now, I'm going to post a leaderboard on this after I've given you this conclusion. Let me just refocus. Why won't it focus anymore? Has it got me? Right. So after this chat, let's put the leaderboard on and tell you which is the best bang for your buck and draw that conclusion of, yes, you can get cheap pellets through a decent rifle. What it bears down to, as always, is test your rifle, find something that works for you. And if you can get it as a cheap pellet, it doesn't make it a cheap pellet if it's valuable for your accuracy. all in all, there you go. There's my conclusion. Here's the leaderboard. But as always, I'm going to sign off with the shoot safe, stay safe, catch you on the next one. Cheers, boy.